So it's 4 o'clock. Let us start new lecture of Math F113, Probability and Statistics. So welcome in new lecture of Math F113. So last time we have covered the axiomatic definition of the probability with which you can compute the probability for unequally events. Thereafter, we have studied the few properties of the probability. Then we have done some question. So this question, I think you have done in the tutorial hour. If you have not done, it will be done because it is the question of the tutorial hour. So I'm skipping. Now let us have this question. Human visual inspection of solder joints on printed circuit board can be very subjective. I trust audio video is okay.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Part of the problem stems from numerous type of solder defects. Example: pad non-wetting, knee visibility, voids, and these are the type of the defects, and even the degree to which a joint possesses one or more of these defects. Consequently, even highly trained inspectors can disagree on the disposition of particular joint. Right? Means person to person perception is different about the defects. If one batch of 10,000 joints, in one batch of 10,000 joints, Inspector A found 724 that were judged defective. Inspector B found 751 such joints, and 1159 of the joints were judged defective by at least one of the inspector. Suppose that one of the 10,000 joints is randomly selected. So you have to compute the following probability. What is the probability that selected joint was judged to be defective by neither of two inspectors? So from the given information, let us define the events. Let the event A be the selected joint was found defective by the inspector A, and it is given to you. Inspector A has selected the 724 defects, so 724 by 10,000. Let the event be analogous for the inspector B. So corresponding to inspector B, the probability of B will become the 751 upon 10,000, and either of one or both we denote by the A union B. So in the given information, we have the event the selected joint was found defective by at least one of the two inspectors. So P of A union B, and this information is given to you as a 1159 upon 10,000. Now in the question they have asked, what is the probability that selected joint was judged to be defected by neither of two inspector? By neither of two inspector, neither A nor B.
A
Right?
union B
So if
complement.
we have to, yes. So this can be, you have to determine this. So this can be written as it is the A union B complement, and that is the 1 minus, in last lecture I have told you the probability of complement, right? So it is equal to P of A union B. So here we have the information for this 1159 upon 10,000. So 1 minus 1159 upon 10,000. So this will give you the required probability. Then after, what is the probability that selected joint was judged by the to be defective by inspector B but not by the inspector A? Means only by B, not by the A. So you have to compute the B intersection A dash. So from the Venn diagram, if we have the A, if we have the B, so this portion represent the B intersection A dash. So how we can compute? So from the B, if you have to compute this probability, so from the B we have to subtract the, right, we have to subtract the this common portion. So minus P of A intersection B, and P of A intersection B by the general addition rule can be P of A plus P of B, P of B minus P of A union B. By the general addition rule, we can write like this. So here it is written, the desired event is the B intersection A dash. So probability of B intersection A dash will become the P of B minus P of A intersection B, and P of A intersection B can be written as P of A plus P of B minus P of A union B. So from the given information, we can compute the P of A intersection B as a 0.0316 and the required probability as 0.0435. And this question also we are covering in the tutorial. So here I am skipping this also. Now we have the next important thing is conditional probability. Conditional means in computing the probability there is some condition, right? So here the probabilities assigned to various events depend on what is known. If you have to determine the probability, so it is necessary to know the event correctly or possibilities about the experimental situation when the assignment is made. So you must know completely about the experimental condition. So subsequent initial assignment, partial information relevant to the outcome of the experiment may become available. Sometimes some little information is available to you. Depending over that, our probability will change. Means whatever the value we are assigning to the particular event, that will depend over the given information. It means the conditional probability nothing special. We compute the probability under some condition. So we wish to determine the probability that some event A2 will occur. Some event A2 will occur on the conditional on assumption that some other event A1 has already occurred. So if we have the keywords like if, given, then we say there is conditional probability. There we have to compute the conditional probability. Means we have to compute the probability of occurrence of the A2 given A1 has already occurred. So you have to compute the probability of occurrence of A2 given that A1 has already occurred. Means if you want to understand this pictorially, so here what we have, it is a sample space S. I am saying that the event A1, event A has already occurred. Now what is the occurrence, what is the probability of occurrence of the event B? So when we say event A has already occurred, so we have to compute the probability. We have to compute the probability of this portion. Means this portion denote the B occurrence of the B given A has occurred, right? Means out of the A, this portion represent the occurrence of B, when A has already occurred. So you have to, so this we represent like the, find the probability of B given A has already occurred. A has already occurred. So this is the way of representing the conditional probability. So mathematically, this can be written as definition. Let A1, A2 be events such that probability of A1 not equal to 0. The conditional probability of A2 given A1, conditional probability of A2 given A1, it is equal to probability of A1 intersection A2 divided by probability of A1. Means it is the ratio of unconditional probability where numerator has numerator has the probability of A1 intersection A2 and denominator has probability of A1, right? So here the probability of A1 must not equal to 0, because when we are dividing it must be non-zero. So that is the means whenever we have the A, or you say A1 has occurred. So what is the probability of occurrence of the A2? Means this is nothing, it is the A2 intersection A1. So when we compute the probability ratio of unconditional probabilities, right, like this, then we say it is the conditional probability. So conditional probability is expressed as a ratio of unconditional probabilities. The numerator is probability of intersection of the two events, whereas the denominator is probability of the uh, probability of the conditioning event B. Venn diagram eliminates this relationship. So with the help of the Venn diagram, you can understand after the occurrence of A1, if we have to compute the occurrence of the probability of occurrence of the A2, then we can use the conditional probability. Let us understand the same thing with the easy example. Two fair dice are tossed, the outcome being recorded as x1 comma x2, where x1 and x2 are two outcomes of the dice. It means the sample space will become the 1 1 1 2 1 6, 2 1 2 2 2 6, and so on, 6 1 6 2 6 6. This will be the sample point. So the sample space. So total we have the 36 sample point or simple events. In this total we have the 36 sample points or simple events, right? Now here we are defining the two events. Consider the following two events. A1 is equal to x1 comma x2 such that x1 plus x2 is equal to 10. So when we have the x1 plus x2 is equal to 10, here we have only the three sample points, either 5 5, 4 6 or 6 4. And another event we are defining as a A2. A2 is equal to x1 comma x2 such that x1 greater than x2. So in this we have the sample point 2 1 3 1 3 2, 4 1 4 2 4 3, right? 5 1 5 2 5 3 5 4, 6 1 6 2 6 3 6 4 6 5. So total we have the 15 sample points. In this we have the total 3 sample points, and here we have the total 15 sample points. So the probability of A1 will become 3 upon 36, probability of A2 will become the 15 upon 36. Now if we are asking find what is the probability of A2 given A1. So what I have told you, it is the P of A2 intersection A1 divided by the P of A1, and P of A2 intersection A1 means in this how many points, in this how many points or how many sample points we have where x1 is greater than x2. So only we have the 6 comma 4. So only one. So it will become the 1 upon 36 divided by the P of A1. P of A1 means 3 upon 36. 3 upon 36. So ultimately its value will come the 1 by 3. So since event A1 consists of the 3 sample point, out of which only one sample point is consistent with the A2, right? With the A2. It means what we are doing here, here we have the sample space S, right? Here we have the sample space S, where we have the 1 1, 1 6, 6 1, 6 6. So instead of this sample space, now when we are saying that A1 has occurred, so we have the this sample space having only the element 5 5, 4 6, 6 4. So this is the A1, means you are reducing the sample space. And out of that, what is the probability of occurrence of the A2? So A2 means x1 greater than x2, x1 greater than x2, so only 6 comma 4. So here we, if either from here if you compute, so it will give you na upon n, so 1 upon 3, 1 upon 3. So directly from here also you can compute the same thing, but it is prefer, right, use the probability of A1 intersection A2 divided by the probability of A1. Similarly, if we have a probability of A1 given A2, so given A2 means, given A2 means, given A2 means here we have the total 15 points. Here we have the total 15 points, 2 comma 1, right, 3 comma 1, 3 comma 2, and so on, and 6 comma 5, 6 comma 5. And we want, so this is the A2. A2 has already occurred, right? So from the sample space of the 36 point, now the sample space reduced to the 15 points. So out of the 15 points, here we have the 6 comma 4. So means this represent the sum should equal to 10. Sum should equal to 10. So what is the probability of A1 given A2? What is the probability of A1 given A2? Means only the one sample point out of the 15 sample point. Or it can be probability of A1 intersection A2 divided by the probability of probability. It is the probability of A1 intersection A2 divided by the probability of A2. And we know that it is what, 1 upon 36 divided by the 15 upon 36. So ultimately it will come the 1 upon 15 only. So it's up to you how you are determining or understanding the conditional probability. Only thing is, in the conditional with the under some condition, we are reducing, we are diminishing the sample space. So in general, the following are the true for any conditional probability. Means probability of A2 given A1 can be written as probability of A1 intersection A2 divided by the probability of A1, right? Provided P of A1 must not equal to 0. Similarly, probability of A1 given A2, it means provided A2 in probability of A2 intersection A1 divided by the probability of A2, provided probability of A2 not equal to 0. So I'm saying that this is the probability function. So for being a probability, through the axiomatic definition, we know it must satisfy the three axioms. Then only we say it is the probability function. Otherwise, we cannot say the probability function. What are the three axioms? So first axiom was what? P of S is equal to 1. So if you compute, instead of the omega, you assume sometimes we denote the S by the omega also. So if you compute the probability of omega given B, so probability of the omega intersection B divided by B by the definition, and we know that probability of B intersection omega will be the PB, and PB upon PB is equal to 1. So here we have the P of S is equal to 1. Similarly, P of S given B is also 1. Right? So it satisfies the first axiom. What is the second axiom? Axiom of non-negativity means for arbitrary event, always the probability is non-negative. So we have taken the arbitrary event as a, let E is the arbitrary event in sample space S or omega. So when we compute probability of S, there we have studied now, probability of E greater than equal to 0. So instead of the probability of E, now we are computing the probability of E given B. So when we compute the probability of E given B, by definition, it is the probability of E intersection B divided by the probability of B. Since
Sir, it
numerator
should be
and
less
denominator,
than or is equals to 1.
pardon,
Probability of E should be less than or is equals to 1.
uh, huh, less than एक मिनट, नॉन नेगेटिव, नॉन नेगेटिव, इट इज ग्रेटर देन इक्वल टू 0, नॉन नेगेटिव, right? So here numerator and denominator both are non-negative, right? So their ratio will also be the non-negative. So this implies this will come the non-negative. So it satisfies the second axiom also, axiom of the non-negativity. Then that what is the third axiom? Axiom of the additivity, that if we have the two events and both are the mutually exclusive, if E and F are the mutually exclusive, right? So probability of E union F is equal to the probability of E plus probability of F. So instead of this, if you compute the probability of E union F given B, so by definition it can be written as probability of E union F intersection B divided by B. So when we apply this theorem of the set theory, it can be written as probability of E intersection B union probability of F intersection B, and it is given to you E and F are the mutually exclusive. So when the E and F are the mutually exclusive, here I am saying that it is the E and F, they are disjoint, they are disjoint. Now let this is the B, this is the B. So what is this area? This area is the E intersection B. What is this area? F intersection B. So here E intersection B as well as F intersection B are also mutually exclusive. So when they are the mutually exclusive, it can be written as P of E divided by the P of E intersection B plus P of F intersection B divided by the P of B, which can be written as P of E intersection B divided by P of B plus P of F intersection B divided by the P of B. And by definition, it is nothing, it is the P of E given B plus P of F given B. It means we can conclude that it also follows the axiom of additivity. That is, when E and F are disjoint or mutually exclusive, then P of E union F given B is equal to P of E given B plus P of F given B. So conditional probability means probability under one condition. Under one condition satisfy the three axioms: axiom of certainty, axiom of non-negativity, and axiom of the additivity. Then we can say it is also the probability function. Now multiplication rule for the P intersection B, P of A intersection B. So what is the multiplication rule? So we know that from the conditional probability, we know that what is the conditional probability? Conditional probability is P of A given B is equal to what? P of A intersection B divided by the P of B. So if you multiply by the P of B on both sides, so it will become the P of A in given B into P of B is equal to P of A given B, A intersection B. So that is the multiplication rule. So from the definition of conditional probability, we can compute the probability of occurrence of the both event, probability of occurrence of A and B event, right? If you have to compute the probability of occurrence of the A and B, so it can be written using the information that probability of A given B and probability of B. So by multiplying these two, you will get the required probability. So this is the multiplication rule. In the same fashion, in terms of the B given A, you can also write. Right? In terms of the A given B, you can write. In terms of the B given A, you can write. So it's up to you. Whatever the given information, whether the A given B is given to you or B given A is given to you, accordingly you can compute the probability of occurrence of the both events. Now from here we can generalize this multiplication theorem for the n events. So for any events a1, a2, an, what is the probability of the occurrence of the all events? Right. So here we have, if you have to compute the probability of occurrence of all events, means probability of a1 intersection a2 intersection a3 intersection an minus 1 intersection an. So when we say all the events are occurring, when we say all the events are occurring, when a1 is occurred, a2 is occurring when a1 is already occurred, a3 is occurring, a3 is occurring when a1 and a2 has already occurred, into probability of a4 given a1, a2, a3 all are already occurred, right? And so on. And probability of an given that a1, a2, an minus 1 all have already occurred. So that is the multiplication rule for the n events. Means for the occurrence of all event, it is necessary that all event must occur. So using the property of the conditional probability, we can write in the multiplication form. So P of A1 into P of A2 given A1 into P of A3 given A1 intersection A2 dash 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 into P of AN given that A1, A2, AN minus 1 has already occurred. So that is the extension or generalized multiplication rule using the conditional probability. Now, population of a particular country consists of the three ethnic groups. Each individual belongs to one of the four major blood groups. So we have the three ethnic group 1, 2, 3 and four blood groups O, A, B and AB. The accompanying joint probability table gives the proportion of individuals in the various ethnic group blood group combination. So here we have the given proportion of ethnic and blood group. Suppose that an individual is randomly selected from the population and define the event A, type A selected, type A blood group, B as a type B selected, and C as a ethnic group 3 selected. If you write it as a ethnic group 3 selected. So you have to calculate the P of A, P of C, P of A intersection C. So what is the meaning of the P of A? Means having the blood group A, right? Having the blood group A, whatever the ethnic group classification or label. So the sum of the this 0.106, 0.141 and 0.200. So it will give you the probability of the A. Probability of A means the sum of these three. So required probability will come as a 0.447. Similarly, C we have defined as the ethnic group 3 selected. Ethnic group 3 selected means, for the ethnic group 3 selected means we have to add the following proportion. We have to add the following proportion, whatever the blood group, all are from the ethnic group 3. So PC will be the, so here PC is the sum of these proportion. So here the required probability will come the 0.50. Then P of A intersection C. P of A intersection C means belongs to blood group A as well as to ethnic group. So this is the intersection point. So 0.20 is the required probability. Right? Here we have. Then after, in the B, calculate both P of A given C and P of C given A. Explain in context each of these probability represent. So what is the meaning of the P of A given C? It is what? P of A intersection C divided by the P of C. So P of A intersection C just we have computed as a 0.200 and P of C we have computed as a 0.500. So this will be the required probability. If you have to compute probability of C given A means probability of C intersection A divided by the P of A. P of A. So either you write the P of C intersection A or P of A intersection C, both are the same. So the required probability will come 0.200 divided by the 0.447. Some mistake in calculation. So whatever the ratio that you can write. So what is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of this statement? If individual come from the ethnic group, what is the probability that he has the blood group A? If the person having the blood group A, what is the probability that it comes from the ethnic group 3? Right, ethnic group 3. So in this way we can compute the required conditional probability, or we can understand the conditional probability. Now part C, if the selected individual does not have type B blood, if the selected individual does not have type B blood, what is the probability that he or she is from the ethnic group 1? So now we are talking about the ethnic group 1. So we have to define the event D. Right, event D, ethnic group 1 selected. So when we say ethnic group, uh, so when we say D, the ethnic group 1 selected. So what we have to compute? What is the required probability? Probability of D given B dash. D given B dash means not a B blood group. So by definition, it will become the probability of D intersection B dash divided by the P of B dash. So here probability of D intersection B dash means probability of D intersection B dash means a person belongs to ethnic group 1 having not blood group B. Having not blood group B, it means it will become the 0.082 plus 0.106 plus 0.004. So that will give you the person belongs to ethnic group 1 having no B blood group. And when we have to compute the probability of B dash, so probability of B dash means by definition we know it is the 1 minus P of B. 1 minus P of B means first we compute the what is the P of B. So P of B is the sum of this, and 1 minus sum of this will give you probability of the B dash. And then we write the in the required form, let it is the 0.909. So required probability will become the 0.192 divided by the 0.909. Let us have the situation. It is the question number 38 plus extra question. A box in a certain supply room contains the 440-watt light bulb, 560-watt bulbs, and 675-watt bulb. Suppose that 3 bulbs are randomly selected. Right? We have the 3 types of the bulb: 40-watt, 60-watt, and 70-watt, and their numbers are given, and we are choosing any 3 bulbs. So if 2 bulbs are randomly selected from the box of the light bulb described in exercise 38. In the exercise 38, we have the 3 type of the bulb, right? 3 type of the bulb of 40 type, 40 watt, 60 watt, and 75 watt, and their numbers are given to you. Their numbers are given to you 4, 5, and 6 respectively. Now you are choosing any two bulbs. Suppose you are choosing any two bulb. So from these two bulb, you have to determine these probability. And if the two bulbs are randomly selected and at least one of them is found to be rated 75 watt, out of the two at least one is of 75 watt, what is the probability that both of them are 75 watt bulb? Given that at least in the first part, first let us see the first part. So the first desired probability is probability of the both bulbs are 75 watt, given at least one is of 75 watt. So when we have to compute a probability of at least 175 watt, so at least one is of 75 watt, it means it is a 1 minus none is of the 75 watt. If none is of 75 watt, so 70 total we have the 15 bulbs, 4 plus 5 plus 6. So total we have the 15 bulb. Out of the 15 bulb, we have chosen the Ne2, that is the 15C2, and none is of right, none are of 75 watt. So total 4 of 40 watt and 5 of the 60 watt, total 9 watt. From the 9 bulb, we have selected the Ne2. So it will become the 9C2. So their ratio will denote the probability of none are of 75 watt. So 1 minus this ratio will give you that probability that at least one bulb is of 75 watt. So it will come the 69 upon 105. Now, if you have to
Sir,
compute that, yes.
sir, this question was given in section 2.3, which was before the conditional probability theory.
Huh.
So, is there any other way? Because
No, no,
conditional probability
actually,
का
no,
जो
no, I am not.
theory उसके बाद है, and we use that concept in this question. Conditional probability is 2.4 और ये 2.3 का question है.
नहीं 2.3 का तो ये वाला मतलब इसका 38 क्वेश्चन है.
हाँ, yes sir. And we use the concept of 2.4 and 2.3. So
No,
I
no.
guess
Actually, this is the reference question. This is the reference question. I am solving this question. It is in the 2.4 only. Actually, here we have the reference of that question. So that question I am using just to show you what is the condition. But
okay,
actually,
so
I am solving this question only. I
in
am
this
solving.
38 question, how will solve D, sir?
No, no.
In 2.3 D, sir. I wasn't able to solve this question. Part D.
Suppose now that bulbs are to be selected one by one until the 75 watt bulb is found. What is the probability that it is necessary to examine at least 6 bulbs? So this in this it is not necessary to use the conditional probability. Where we have the use of the conditional probability?
So then, how can we find this? Can you find
Let
the
me
answer?
first finish this part, then I will tell you.
Okay, sir.
Right? Means actually it is not of continuous that I have to finish the conditional probability. Just you wait after the lecture. I will tell at that time. Right? Just after the lecture, you wait for a few minutes. I will tell you this part. Let me finish the conditional probability. Actually, we are already lagging behind. Clear? So you just wait. What is your name? I will recall you that at that time.
Tanishq Jain, sir.
Tanishq, na? So Tanishq, I will call you just after the finish of the lecture.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Just wait for the 10 minutes. We have the 10 minutes only. So here, I was talking for the part A. So we required this probability. So notice that probability both are the 75 watt, right? Both notice that probability of both are of 75 watt intersection. At least one is of 75 watt, right? So their intersection will be when I am saying that intersection of both are of 75 watt. In that one is always the is of 75 watt. So their intersection will be the probability of both are of 75 watt. So both are of 75 watt means 6C2 divided by the 15C2. So this will come 15 upon 105. So required probability will become, required probability means let this is the A, this is the B. So this will give you probability of A intersection B divided by the probability of B, probability of B. So this will be the required probability. So it will come the 2174. Then after, in the part B, given that at least one of the two selected is not rated 75, right? One of the two is not of 75. What is the probability that both selected bulbs have the same rating? Same rating means either both are of 40 watt or both are of the 60 watt. So second, we want the same rating given that at least one not of 75 watt. So one is not of 75 watt. So for the 75 watt, we have computed as a 15 upon 105. So for the not, it will become the 1 minus 15 upon 105. Right here we have computed the both are of 75 watt, 15 upon 105. So for not of for at least one not of 75 watt, so it will become 1 minus both are 75 watt, so it will give you 90 upon 105. And same rating means both are of 40 watt plus both are of 60 watt, and 40 watt and 60 watt are the mutually exclusive. So it can be written as both 40 plus or both 60. So there are the 440 watt bulb and 560 watt bulb, from where we are selecting any two. So it will become the 4C2 plus 5C2 out of total 15 bulb. So from where we are selecting the two bulbs, so 15C2. So required probability will come the 16 upon 105. So from here again, if you say it is the probability of A given B, so that can be written as probability of A intersection B divided by the probability of B. So using this approach, so this is the required probability. Let us have a system consists of the two identical pumps, first and second. If one pump fails, the system will still operate. Means for the failure of the system, both should be failed. However, because of the added strain, the extra remaining pump is now more likely to fail than originally one. If the first one fail, second has the extra load, so probability of the failure will increase. If the second is fail, then first has the extra load, then it likelihood will increase. That is, R is equal to P of 2 fail or given P of 1 fails. It is greater than the P of 2 fails, that is the Q. And it is given to you, both pumps are identical. If at least one pump fails by end of the pump design life in 7% of all systems, and both pumps fail during that period is only 1%. What is the probability that pump 1 will fail during the pump design life? So question is what? Let us define the events A1 and A2 as A1 with the event that pump 1 fail, A2 as a pump 2 fail. Now, because the A1, because the both pumps are identical, so P of A1 is equal to P of A2. Since P of A2 is given to you as a Q, so P of A1 is also Q. And it is given to you the probability of failure of pump 2, given that pump already failed, so its probability is given to you as a R. So P of A2 given A1 is given to you as a R. So because they are the identical, so P of A1 given A2 will also be the R. So here we know that if you have to compute the both pump fail means P of A1 intersection A2. So by the multiplication rule, it will become the P of A2 given A1 into P of A1. And already we know this value is R, this value is Q, so it will become the RQ, and this is given to you as a 0.01. So when this is given to you as a 0.01, it will give you RQ is equal to 0.01. And probability of occurrence, probability of the failure of any one pump, at least one pump fail, it is given to you as a 7%. So here probability of A1 union A2, A1 union A2, A1 union A2, it is equal to what? It is the A1 A1 intersection A2 dash, right? A2 dash. This is the A1 dash intersection A2, and this is your A1 intersection A2. So P of A1 union A2 can be written as the sum of the probability of the disjoint events. So P of A1 intersection A2 plus P of A1 dash intersection A2 plus P of A1 intersection A2 dash. So this will become RQ, right? This is given to you as a RQ, and this will become the 1 minus R into Q. 1 minus R into Q, and here we have the 2 times, so it will become the 2 into 1 minus R into Q. And this is given to you as a 0.7. So when we have the now we have the 2 equation, right? And 2 unknown R and Q. So this will this when you solve, it will give you Q is equal to 0.4 and R is equal to 0.25. So in this way, we can compute the required probability as a 0.4, because they have asked here what is the probability that pump 1 will fail during the pump design life. So we have to compute the P of 1, so it will come the 0.04. Now if it is given to you P of B given A greater than P of B, you have to show that P of B dash given A less than P of B dash. So you can solve by the contradiction, right? You have to solve this. So we solve it by the contradiction. So what is the contradiction we are taking? Let us assume that P of B dash given A greater than P of B dash, right? And in this, this can be written as 1 minus P of B given A. P of B given A, because the conditional probability also satisfy the all properties of the probability. So this will become 1 minus P of B given A greater than equal to 1 minus P of B. 1 and 1 cancel out, right? 1 and 1 cancel out, and here we have the minus only. So when we multiply with the minus, the sign of inequality will change. So it will give you 1 of P probability of B given A less than equal to probability of B, which is contradict to the given condition. It means whatever our assumption, that is wrong, right? So from here we can say that when P of B given A greater than P of B, then always P of B dash given A less than equal to P of B dash. So that is the conditional probability. In next class, we will start the Bayes theorem.
Sir,
Yes.
so why did you assume greater than equal to and not just greater than?
Because when here we have the strictly less than, so its contradictory will be the greater than equal to. Na? We have the three conditions, na? Either less than is equal to or greater than. So contradictory of these two, contradictory of this is the these two.
Yeah, okay, got it.
Any other doubt from the today lecture? Hello, are you getting my voice?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Actually, in one of my system it breaks. So
Sir, can you explain how
yeah,
probability
I'm
of
coming to that two part. I'm coming.
B conditional A can be greater than probability of B?
Uh, what you are saying? What you are saying? Just please repeat.
No, sir, because it is given in the question. It is
क्या?
given in the question as a statement that probability of B
हाँ, B given A greater than P of B.
conditional A is greater, that you have to consider this.
Means we have to show that under this condition, prove this. So we are assuming that let us means this condition we cannot prove. Means this is a contradictory condition. So when we have such thing, so we are proving that under the contradictory assumption, we have the contradictory result.
Okay, sir, I got it.
हाँ. So क्या नाम? Tanisk, are you there? Tanisk.
No, sir, he left.
इसी ने तो पूछा था यार. Is
Sir,
there
can you
anyone
show
who
this
wants the
solution?
answer of that part?
सर मुझे
No.
बस एक ही डाउट है उसमें कि जो जब हम रिप्लेसमेंट के साथ सिलेक्ट कर रहे हैं या नहीं.
So we are doing a without replacement. Na? When we are selecting, then it is the we are repeating until we have the means 6 events. Suppose that now the valves are to be selected one by one. You have to select it one by one.
So we are replacing it or not?
No, we are not replacing.
Okay.
Sir,
Hmm?
sir, in this question, sir, like at the end of the event, we have to find a 75-watt bulb. So it can be
Means
the
in this question, what we have,
no, sir.
sixth valve should be the of 75. So in the first selection, in the second selection, in the third selection, in the fourth selection, in the fifth selection, we have the choice of the 40 or 60, 40 or 60 or 40 or 60.
नहीं सर
Sixth one is of the 75.
सर एटलीस्ट 6 बल्ब सिलेक्ट करने हैं मतलब या तो
ये
6
तभी
7
पॉसिबल है ना कि ये तभी पॉसिबल है कि फर्स्ट 5 शुड बी आइदर ऑफ 40 watt or 60 watt. Right? So in this case, it will become the 9C5 divided by the 15C5.
सर अगर क्वेश्चन में नहीं दिया हुआ कि विद रिप्लेसमेंट तो विदाउट रिप्लेसमेंट मानते हैं.
Selected में. When we
अच्छा.
are selecting, then selecting means we are keeping up with us.
Okay, sir.
So can you show the solution of that pump question with probabilities or Q and R?
Pardon?
So can you show the solution of the pump question?
कौन सा question?
So in which the probabilities were Q and R. So the pump A and pump B. Yes. Yes, sir, this one.
Solution is this one. Question you want?
No, sir. I wanted to know how we have written PA1 union A2. Can you please explain this step?
Here we have the A1. Here we have the A2.
Yes, I understood how it is by set theory, but how we have written the probability corresponding to that. I wanted to ask that.
This.
Yes, so like the A1 union.
You want to answer. Well, you want to answer how we are writing this 1 minus R into Q.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Actually, here we have used the one concept. It is written to you. We have computed this. So this is the P of A1 dash into P of A2, and it is true when A1 and A2 are independent. Till now, I have not told you this part, independency, but here we are using the concept of the independency.
Yes,
so for this, it will become the 1 minus R, or for 1, it is the Q.
Yes, sir. So the independence or non-independence of events are to be judged by our own thinking. Like it will not be mentioned.
नहीं, on thinking नहीं है, मैं बता दूंगा. Next class में I will cover.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Next
Sir, I
class
have
में
the
base
same
theorem और
doubt in
independency will
that.
come. क्या?
In that defect one question, you have find the probability that both will be having defects by using the additive property. But can't we use like we multiply both PA into PC and then find that both will have the defect? Like intersection PA intersection A intersection C is equals to PA into PC. Soldiers having defect, that one question.
And this.
Yes, sir. We know PA and PC also, so can't we do PA intersection C is equals to PA into PC, assuming both are independent events?
नहीं, actually this data has the value in such a way that it is not independent. That at the time of independency, I will tell you this part.
Okay, sir.
Actually, it requires one concept at the time. After that, if you have if you feel is there any ambiguity, then you can ask at that time. In next class, I will cover this part.
Sir,
हाँ
सर इन दैट एटलीस्ट 6 वाला क्वेश्चन सर, सर वो एटलीस्ट 6 मतलब वो या तो 6 होगा या तो 7 या तो 8 या तो 9, वो वाला चीज कह रहा था सर क्वेश्चन।
हाँ, तो मतलब शुरू के, हम यहाँ कह रहे हैं कि शुरू के 5 बल्ब क्या है, बस हम
सर
उसकी प्रोबेबिलिटी निकाल रहे हैं कि शुरू के 5 बल्ब आने की क्या प्रोबेबिलिटी है।
सर बट आपने जो सोल्यूशन दिया था उसमें 1 माइनस पी ऑफ 0 पी ऑफ 1 इन सबको ऐड करके किया था।
क्या
सर सर जो आपने सोल्यूशन दिए थे ना नोट्स, सॉरी पीडीएफ, सर उसमें जो सोल्यूशन था वो जैसे कि इसमें एटलीस्ट 6 कह रहा है, तो उसको कर देंगे 1 माइनस पी ऑफ 1 पी ऑफ 0 प्लस पी ऑफ 1 प्लस पी ऑफ 2 प्लस पी ऑफ 3 प्लस पी ऑफ 4 प्लस पी ऑफ 5, और उसकी प्रोबेबिलिटी करी थी जैसे कि अगर पी ऑफ 0 रहा तो मतलब 6/15 ऐसे करके। तो मुझे वो जानना था कि मतलब उसमें किया क्या है।
क्वेश्चन हो तो मतलब कहाँ पे, कौन से क्वेश्चन के रेफरेंस में बात कर रहे हो?
सर इसका पहले वाला जो आपका पेज 142 पे डी पार्ट जो कह रहा था तनिष्क, इसका मतलब सर वो जो डिफेक्ट्स वाला पार्ट था ना, वो वाला बल्ब वाला। तक पीछे रह गया होगा काफी। हाँ सर इसका डी पार्ट में।
हाँ, इसमें क्या?
सर जैसे कि जो सोल्यूशन था उसमें एटलीस्ट 6 बल्ब बोल रहे हैं सर, तो उसको 1
हाँ
1 माइनस पी ऑफ 0 के लेके पी ऑफ 5 तक का सम कर देंगे।
मतलब कर सकते हो, उस अप्रोच में भी कर सकते हो।
सर बट वही डाउट आ रहा था, जैसे कि सपोज पी ऑफ 1 निकालना था, तो पी ऑफ 1 निकालने के लिए उसमें जो मेथड किया था वो मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा था, मतलब जो सोल्यूशन है।
नहीं, तुमने कौन सा सोल्यूशन देखा?
तो जो आपने पीडीएफ में दिया था, जो आपने पीडीएफ अटैच की थी उसकी।
मैंने कौन सी पीडीएफ अटैच की है?
सर आपने जो ड्राइव में जो क्लास नोट्स की जो पीडीएफ होती है ना,
हाँ,
उसमें जो सोल्यूशन था उसकी बात कर रहा था मैं।
ये तो मैंने ये क्वेश्चन 38 कराया ही नहीं, पहले कराया है।
सर कराया है सर, आपने पहले कराया था। आपने डी पार्ट छोड़ दिया था बट उसमें डाउट आया था, आपने कहा था बाद में पूछ लेना। सर एक बार ऐसा करता हूँ, मैं एक बार और स्टडी करके फिर अगर कुछ होता तो फिर आपको मैं मेल कर दूंगा।
हाँ चलो ऐसा कर लेना।
जी जी सर, थैंक यू सर।
मैं भी देख लूंगा मैंने क्या अपलोड किया है, मैं भी देख लेता हूँ उस बीच।
जी सर, जी सर, थैंक यू सर।